Hi everyone, welcome to Piano Think. I've got a question for you first. What do you get if you respell the letters of silent? What you get is the word listen. I love it. It's a beautiful thing in English that you respell the word silent and you get listen. And this is something that I think about a lot, both in my own playing, but especially in watching other people play. And I judge piano compositions a lot, and it's something I frequently comment about. And when I got to this great spot in this Haydn sonata, where everything seems to stop, I froze because I wanted to listen carefully to silence, because there's an energy there. And if I had played this a different way, a way that I frankly don't prefer, it would have looked a little bit like this. Now, why is that? Why does that matter? Because in that small motion of finding the next chord that I was about to play, and moving kind of maybe even beautifully to the next spot, it betrayed all the meaning of what had just happened. And I find this important and sometimes a little bit frustrating, because I'll see a really well-prepared pianist who's playing an audition, but they're betraying the silence because their stage presence is violating that silence because they're moving or they're getting ready for the next passage. So how about if you were playing like the Tempest Sonata here? I want to sit there waiting on this pregnant pause. Then I'll move. And here comes another silence, or at least pause. Don't then cover the next thing while you're holding the old chord, because it shows me as a listener that you're no longer listening to that. And me as an audience member, I pay attention to that, or even if I'm not consciously aware of these things, I think I'm still going to subconsciously pay attention to that. And what will happen if you're holding this chord and getting the next thing ready? Well, I think what will happen is that someone in the audience is going to grab their iPhone and see what else is going on in the world. But if you freeze, really listen, then move, you don't give permission for the audience to actually do something else. They are completely focused and in your power. I have the same experience watching people play piano concertos. If there is a moment where the orchestra gets a 4-measure interlude or something, while the pianist has just finished, if the pianist is then covering what they're about to play, waiting for the orchestra, to me, I think, well, this is not a conversation. They should be reacting, but they've somehow already showing what they're about to do. So in those silences, remember, listen. In fact, I'll tell you a really funny story about this that I think really shows the point. When my wife and I first bought the house that we are currently in, we had learned that there was a tragic death actually in the home, and we were slightly concerned that maybe we want to make sure this house, there's nothing odd about the house or anything, and we were assured it was not. First night we were in the home, we turned on the baby monitor, and very soon after the baby monitor was on, we heard this from the baby monitor. 1, 5 taps. Then about 10 seconds of silence. Then 5 more taps, evenly spaced. And this sent us in a bit of a panic. We looked all over the house, in the closets, under the beds, turned on all the lights to see what was going on. We could not figure it out. Now, I guarantee you, in that silence, as we heard 4, 5 taps, we listened frozen, somewhat frozen in terror and fear. But there was a great deal of energy. When you're listening that way, you do not listen this way. You're frozen. So when I play this, by the way, it turned out that if you put your cell phone next to a baby monitor, the GPS signal will actually transmit through the baby monitor. So everything was absolutely fine. But when you're frozen and really listening, listen to the silence, and there'll be great energy.